Welcome to Toronto Maple Leafs News Now. If you love staying updated on all things Maple Leafs, make sure to hit that subscribe button and join our community. Let's dive into today's exciting news. As the Toronto Maple Leafs gear up to kick off their training camp on September 18, there's buzz around potential roster changes before the puck drops. One intriguing proposal making waves comes from a fan using Puckpedia's Puck GM tool, suggesting a trade that could see the Maple Leafs snagging Lawson Crouse from Utah. In this proposed trade, the Maple Leafs would acquire a solid middle six forward in Lawson Crouse. In exchange, they'd send Nick Robertson, Timothy Liljegren, and Adonis Milivinte's second-round pick to Utah. This move could be a strategic play for the Leafs, adding depth and scoring power with Crouse, who's currently in the third year of his 5-year, $20.5 million contract. Last season, Crouse notched 23 goals and 19 assists, showcasing his potential to be a valuable asset for Toronto. On the flip side, Robertson, who recently signed a 1-year $875 deal, has had his struggles with consistency in the lineup. Similarly, Liljegren, despite his new 2-year extension, found himself as a healthy scratch during crucial playoff moments. Could this trade be the shakeup the Leafs need to bolster their roster? Maple Leafs GM Brad Treliving has commented on Robertson's journey, highlighting their strong relationship and Robertson's commitment to improving his game. With a fresh start under a new coach, the Leafs hope Robertson can unlock his full potential this season. Meanwhile, the Utah team, formerly from Arizona, is gearing up for their inaugural season as the Utah Hockey Club. They're down to 6 finalists for their new team name, including options like Utah Blizzard and Utah Yeti. Fans are eagerly voting to shape the identity of their new team, which will debut in the 2024-25 season. In a surprising turn of events, former Toronto Maple Leafs star forward Phil Kessel is on the hunt for a new NHL contract. According to NHL insider Elliotte Friedman, Kessel is eager to return to the ice after his last appearance in the 2023 Stanley Cup playoffs with the Vegas Golden Knights, where he helped secure the championship. Despite his impressive resume, Kessel was unable to land a contract last season, even after a tryout with the Vancouver Canucks. With NHL training camps just around the corner, Friedman revealed on his 32 Thoughts the podcast that Kessel has been actively reaching out to teams in hopes of securing a spot. He wants to play, Friedman explained. Kessel is serious about getting back in the game, and he's been making calls to teams. He loves hockey and is determined to play. Kessel, a 3-time Stanley Cup champion, could bring valuable depth and scoring ability to any team's middle six forward line. However, as Friedman notes, it's unclear if any NHL team will take the chance on him. Interestingly, Friedman also linked Kessel to the Columbus Blue Jackets, suggesting they showed interest in the veteran forward. However, Columbus opted to sign James Van Riemsdyk to a 1-year deal, leaving Kessel's future uncertain. Meanwhile, back in Toronto, the Maple Leafs are gearing up for their training camp on September 18. General manager Brad Treliving hinted at potential roster moves, stating, "We're not set yet. We continue to look at ways to make our team better." The Leafs are set to kick off their 2024-25 NHL season on October 9 against the Montreal Canadiens. Max Pacioretty, a name well known in the hockey world, has recently signed a professional tryout, PTO, with the Toronto Maple Leafs. This move might have surprised some fans, but according to general manager Brad Treliving, it's all part of a strategic plan. Pacioretty has faced a challenging few years with injuries, limiting his playtime with the Carolina Hurricanes and Washington Capitals. However, during his tenure with the Vegas Golden Knights, he was a top performer, averaging 24 goals a year over 4 seasons. His offensive prowess is undeniable, and Toronto sees potential in what he can bring to the table. When the Leafs announced Pacioretty's PTO, some questioned whether the spot could have been better used for younger, healthier talent. But Treliving clarified this decision in a media session on September 12. He emphasized that Pacioretty has been on Toronto's radar for weeks, and with his improved health and focus on recovery, the timing felt right. "We will see what Pacioretty's role is," Treliving stated. With Max, he is a veteran guy who has been beset by injuries in the last couple of years. We brought Max in about a month or 3 weeks ago for a couple of days, and he was very open to not only going through a medical exam, but also getting on the ice for us to see where he is at. Pacioretty himself noted that this year feels different. Instead of just training, he's been heavily focused on rehab, preparing for a full season come October. His veteran presence could provide valuable depth to the third and fourth lines, and offer leadership to Toronto's young roster. His scoring ability, when healthy, could also enhance Toronto's offensive options. Despite the optimism, Pacioretty won't be given any free passes. Tree Living made it clear that everyone must earn their spot, and Pacioretty will need to prove himself during training camp. However, Tree Living does expect him to be on the opening night roster if all goes well. My expectation is he's going to be with us, but everyone has to earn their spot here, Tree Living affirmed. If Pacioretty makes the cut, his presence will add an intriguing dynamic to the age-old Maple Leafs versus Canadiens rivalry, given his years as captain in Montreal. Seeing him in blue and white during those matchups is sure to stir emotions on both sides. All in all, signing Pacioretty to a PTO is a calculated risk for the Leafs, but if he stays healthy, it could pay off massively. Now we want to hear from you. What do you think about Max Pacioretty's potential impact on the Leafs? Could he be the missing piece Toronto needs? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe to Toronto Maple Leafs News Now for more exciting updates.